What about it? And welcome back to HVAC Shop Talk. My name is Zach Ciota. Hope you guys are doing awesome out there tonight. Looks like we got Mr. Jeff Kuiper in the chat. We have Dustin Hendricks in the chat. Good evening, gentlemen. Hope you guys are doing well out there tonight. We have another fun-filled evening for every one of you out there. You better believe it, brah. You better believe it. We got the old skill trade up. I mean, I'm sweating so much running back and forth to the house here, getting my cords plugged in correctly. I got the rim of my glasses. Look at this. Good grief. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, that's kind of trippy right there. One day. It's bad for the podcast people. You couldn't see that psychedelic exchange. Anyway, I'm sweaty. I'm sweaty as a mofo. So I'm down here at my office here, tucked in my corner with my nice American cross here. God bless America. And just ready to fire it off here for tonight. Got some comments to look at. Got an interesting picture. And have an interesting tool, which we might start with. We are going to play the skill trade up. Like I was saying, we're going to take your phone calls too, so we can do all that stuff. Let's make sure the call now button's working. Yep, it appears to be working. Fantastic. Okay. So, I was at I don't know what you call this place. It's not like a flea market. I do like to go to the flea market. I'll be honest with you. I really enjoy the flea market. I like looking at tools, because I always have like some random tools. I'm looking for the right remote while I'm talking here. Mini split remote. Hear the beep? Let's make it cold in here. So I always like looking at the old tools they have there. And we were going to a couple different places to look for furniture because my wife is going to work in here with me. She has a candle business where they, pour your own candles, make your own. I think they make soap and all sorts of stuff. But we're going to work in here on that as well. So we were looking for furniture to put in here to help with that process. But I always go and gravitate toward the tools. I look at furniture for a little bit, so it's like, all right, I've seen it all here, and I'll go look at tools. And, you run into some random stuff, and a lot of times things are priced in an abnormal way. It's like they're priced in a way that's like totally out of left field. But everything was pretty standard in, was it Copacetic? Copacetic, where we were at the other day. Went up to Jacksonville, North Carolina. Saw a lot of great old tools. Some Craftsman circular saws, like a 6.5-inch saw, like a trim saw, and then like the 7.25-inch full-size circular saw. It was pretty awesome, actually. Some stuff looked like it was out of the 70s. It was like all metal body. I was almost going to buy it just so I could put it on the wall. It was like, it's kind of a waste if you don't use it. But I would have tried to use it too. Compared it to what we have nowadays, it'd be kind of interesting to see how it stacks up with even the battery tools. But I did pick up a tool. And I'll get you comments in a second, guys. I got your comments over here. But I want to show you guys this tool I picked up because I think it's pretty cool. And whether you're an HVAC guy or an electrician, I think it's pretty neat. Here you go. So I found this, and it says on there, for those of you who can see, it says Biddle Megger. Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but it looks like I bought this for $35. Not even sure if it works because there's no batteries in it, but it's a Biddle Megger. I'm going to open it up here, probably on the ground. Be easier. So we have this very old-looking bag, Biddle, and this stuff is made in England. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty interesting. Most tools made in China, and this looks like it was, I don't know, about 20 to 25 years old, somewhere in that range. But I thought it was so awesome that I picked it up just on the sheer chance that it works. So it's a mega ohm meter, whatever you want to say. Yeah, I'm going to take the stuff off of it here if I can. Has 2 leads, has more stuff that comes with it in the box. I'm not going to drag everything out. It even has, I like this on the front, guys. You see this? It says mega ohm meter equals 1 million ohms. And there it is right there. You can see it has a few different settings. Has 200 ohms, 1 million ohms, and 200 million ohms, or 200 mega ohms. Looks like, I guess that's a diode test down there. And you can see Megger, Biddle. And I know somewhere it said, yeah, you can see it on the back. So it says James C. Biddle, catalog number, serial number 3021. I was thinking it was 2001. I'm not sure, but it says made in England. So that was kind of cool. And I very much so want to see if it works, because I don't have a Mega right now. And this would be kind of an interesting thing to carry around. People will be like, what is that? Does this work with MeasureQuick? That's what they're going to ask. Does this work with MeasureQuick? I don't know. Maybe if you glue the phone to it, it will somehow have some kind of NFC interface. I don't know. So doubtful on the MeasureQuick thing. I should have carried some batteries with me. And of course, it comes with some more leads that are kind of familiar for Mega ohm meters, little clamp leads you can put one on the ground or whatever, then one on wherever you're testing. And it has a little bit of a needle lead with the long, thin leads. You can see that. Let's talk to our chat friends out there, see what they're doing. You know, I said we had Kuipers here, Dustin Hendricks, and so Hendricks says, I've been hearing some things about R32 taking out 410A. Yeah, I've been hearing them same things, certain people. I think that was Good Mana Dicontrol. I think I got them all right there. Good Mana Dicontrol. And they are going with R32 because Daikin's already been using R32. I know Mitsubishi in other parts of the world uses R32. So it looks like the final two here are going to be R32 and R454B. Why we have to have two, I don't know. But it looks like that is our final two. And everybody seems to think this is some sort of transition to a different refrigerant again. Maybe like a natural refrigerant so it can all explode together, I guess. Garrett Rush says, yeah, it's probably going to be R454B. Has a lower GWP. Yeah. There's a few of them right there in the mix, and it ranges between like 500 to 700 GWP right in there. So I think all those will be acceptable, at least for a short term, and then somebody will get a bug in their butt about, you know, I don't know, woolly mammoth dying 2 million years ago, and they're going to want to change it to a different one. And we have Jeff Kuiper back, says you need a mini package unit that mounts in a window for your shop. Oh, yeah, I do need one for the shop. Absolutely do. In fact, I have a mini split down there. Ralph gave me a mini split like 3 years ago, and it had been returned and was in disrepair. So I still don't know what's wrong with it, if anything's wrong with it, because the shop right now doesn't have any fed power. It's running on a drop cord, and this room, of course, has power run to it, but the shop itself, I have to run a new line for the shop because whenever they rebuilt the house, they cut the lines. They just severed them when they ran some lines down to the pump, and it needs some new electrical anyway. After a house fire, you tend to want to get new electrical anyway. So we're going to try for that. Let's see. Hello there, senor. Right back at you. Oh, got my skilled trade up shirt on that my wife got me a while back. Hey, nice. Hey, I got a skilled trade up shirt on too right here. One of the few remaining Shop Talk shirts. Somebody was asking me the other day, said, do you have any hats for sale? I said, man, you're like a year too late. We kind of stopped doing hats and shirts because it was like, no one really wanted hats and shirts. So I was like, why are we making hats and shirts? It feels kind of stupid anyway. You want to buy my shirt or my hat? Yeah. I don't know. Man, if you ever want a hat or something like that, if there's enough people that want them, I'll order a set of them or something like that. But we're not gonna have any mass quantities out there, I don't think. Unless I do it for like a prize. We might do it for like a prize or something like that. R134A says, my friend has a huge, scary circular saw with no guard. Yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about. That's like you take your guards off your circular saws, your grinders, everything that would have a guard for your safety, you remove it, and that makes you a man. A four-fingered man, sometimes. Well, actually, we do have 4 fingers except for the thumb. So you could have me on a technicality there. We Remain, it says, I have a 25-year-old Greenlee Mega with a crank. That's pretty cool that the crank actually forms the charge, I guess. 250 volt, 500 volt, and 1000 volt setting. Don't have to worry about the battery. It's cool. Dallas says Ream is going to switch to R454B. And We Remain, it said we would rather have tools. Hey, I'm with you, man. That's why I'm not ordering any more of them things. We'll get you guys tools. How's that? We'll get you tools. You'll be squared away. It'll be all good in the neighborhood. So I showed you the Mega here. And I think I had a comment that was pretty good. I really enjoyed this comment. Let's take a gander at it since we're already here. This is a comment I got the other day. It says on the video is, this is what happens when duck testers get too arrogant. Scott Adams says, I once had a call which a 3-ton unit randomly would freeze up. One central big floor return, it was an old house. Weeks would go by and it would freeze up again, but be fine when I got there. 5 callbacks later, I found the St. Bernard sleeping on the grill, blocking it. I thought that was pretty good. That was pretty good, I think. Pretty awesome that he got to solve that problem. And I was thinking to myself, what would that look like? What would it look like to have a St. Bernard sitting on your grill? So I formulated a mock situation, a picture, so you guys on YouTube could see. And this is what I imagine that situation looked like. And I was also thinking that it says, if you have the iManifold, it will say, iManifold says, check for dogs. So I think you probably would have like a red flag on MeasureQuick as well, since that's all Bergman stuff, right? And it would say check for dogs. So once you check for dogs on all the registers, or birds or cats, or maybe it just says animals, I'm not sure, then you have, then you can get all squared away and you're good to go. So, hey, that's what I'm talking about. You know, move one wire. I hear a wire screeching over here, so I'm going to move my wires to make sure it works out. So, what's up, Susie? John Harrell says, I still have the hat I won last year. Hey, nice. Very nice. Very nice. I like those hats. I mean, those hats are comfortable. I just, I didn't order anymore. I had like the rest of them, I was like, I'm just going to rotate through these hats, just using them in the yard. And of course, about one day in the yard, like cutting grass or going to do a service call in the attic or something like that, no one's going to be winning that hat any longer. Because it's got like, I don't know what we sweat out, whether it be salt, minerals, or what, but it makes a definite mark on a hat. And it's not dirt. It's a strange mark. Of course, it'd just be me. I might be, secreting something wrong. I don't know. But I pretty much destroyed all the hats. Same thing with these shirts. Once I dropped weight, I could wear the shirts that I had in stock still. They're like extra large shirts. So I was like, I'm putting on these extra large shirts and I'm going to wear these now. So that's why I'm wearing these. I couldn't wear them when the game started, but now I can wear them because I'm less fat. I'm less fat. Less fat, Zach. Susie Dunn says, I wear a straw hat to mow the lawn. Susie, I actually wear a straw hat too. When I walk the dog, when I'm doing yard work, I have a straw hat that I wear now. And the dog actually attacked my hat and ripped a hole in the front of it. So I ripped it apart earlier today and put it on to make Mallory laugh without the top of it on, just like the hat itself was on, but my head was sticking through it. So there's what we're doing. Let's see. Yeah, instant sweat stain. The hat gets destroyed. Dog hair getting sucked into the filter. Absolutely. And R134A says, I guess you need 2 returns to accommodate a dog. Same as pools need 2 drains for safety. That's right. That's exactly right. Now, one thing I should do, I should bring up that YouTube poll that I put up. I could probably do it on my phone, actually, since I'm sitting here on my phone. Then we can take some phone calls here in a second as well. But I put a poll up about patriotism, just out of curiosity, because we asked the questions about, you like American-made tools or not? And I was like, yeah, well, people like them, but, there's a lot of good tools made overseas now, so, that didn't go over in the American favor, not at all. But I put up, how would you describe yourself as an American if you're in America? Because I realize there's people in other countries that are like, I'm not even American. I wouldn't even describe myself that way, or whatever they would say. So it has 200 votes. It was just a few hours ago, so that's a pretty, rocking poll there, 200 votes already. And it says, very patriotic, somewhat patriotic, not very patriotic, or dislike American ideals. So I wanted to put something like that, because some people, they just don't like what we stand for. And, that's their opinion. As wrong as they are. You know what I'm saying, guys? Very patriotic was 46%. And at first, it was like really low. It's like, man, I can't believe this. But it rose up to 46%. Somewhat patriotic, 36%. So we're over 80%. So the only thing left is not very patriotic at 14%. And then terrorists are at 4%. I'm joking. I'm just joking. Those aren't terrorists. It's okay. That's why we have America. So you can hate America if you want to. And you can still be in America. So that's how it works. Jeff Kuiper said, let me see here. Jeff Kuiper said, if you could buy any smart probes, what would you buy? Oh, what would be the ultimate smart probes? Just my gut, just thinking right now through all the ones that are now available, I think in order of, it's pretty good. I think I would probably have to go with the iManifold. The iManifold is still the creme de la creme. So if price isn't an option, I mean, if you're saying like you can have any of them, price isn't an option, I would go iManifold, Yellow Jacket, and Field Piece, about a tie for me. Because sometimes I might want to use MeasureQuick, but I don't typically use MeasureQuick. But if I did, I couldn't do it with the Yellow Jacket probes. So, I mean, they're pretty close. And then everybody else is farther down the list. I can't think of anybody else. I might be missing something, though. But I think the iManifold, and when I say iManifold, I mean iConnect. I want the iConnect, the little belt thing. I want the super probes that go all the way to Mars. You can measure temperatures on Mars, aliens' houses. I mean, it's pretty awesome. Let's see. We're all doing some theoreticals back there. Let's see. We did the smart probes. Susie says, I'm thinking I'm going to hire someone to install my new HVAC system, but then watch everything they do and nitpick. Hey, man, it's an interesting plan, but it would probably be fun. Like whenever, just recently my neighbor had their AC worked on and the guy was there, and I don't really talk to my neighbor. My neighbor's kind of a recluse. He's an older gentleman. I think he has health issues and he just stays inside all the time, so I never talk to him. And the guy's coming over, it's like, I want to go over there, and I did. I was looking over there and he was like, I saw an evaporator in the back of his truck. Says, I look over him saying, leaky evaporator, huh? He goes, yep. And that's all as much as we talked. Then I went about my business. He went about his business. But I was really curious. I would love to go over there and say, hey, did you know that I'm Zach from HVAC Shop Talk? And he goes, what does that mean? And I'd be like, never mind. It's fine. It would be fun to go over there and talk to him and see what he's doing, but it's weird. It's weird unless they say, are you the guy from Shop Talk? Then I can do it. But he did not say that, so I couldn't do it. Because only 1 out of 500 techs even know what that means. And you guys are all here. Let's see. Do they even make the eye manifold anymore? I think they do. They sell it at True Tech Tools. I think they still do it. The Sporlan probes. The Sporlan probes are real good, man. I like the Sporlan probes. They're like really robust. That's the word I think of when I think of the Sporlan probes. And then they have those Sporlan R's with the little antennas on the top that look like the, what we say they look like? Like when Empire Strikes Back, when they're at the ice planet at the beginning, Hoth, and those little droids are searching for them, and they shoot one and it blows up. That was a Sporlan probe. Field piece is pretty good. Oh, yeah. And let's see. John Harrell says, I'm in the middle of installing new duct in my attic now while the old duct board is still in use. I don't know, man. Where I'm at is summer, and I try to stay away from that. I try to stay away from it. Testo is not the besto in this area, so I'll leave it at that. Okay, guys, you can call in if you want to. The number is 910-970-0043. Might take a phone call. We're going to play Skilled Trade Up here in a little while. Might see if you guys can win some prizes. I want to remind you guys, because I want everybody at Skilled Trade Up to have the opportunity to win something. There is a gimme question that starts the Skilled Trade Up. You're going to have a question so easy that it's just going to be like it's a gimme. So you definitely win a prize. Now, if you want to keep pushing your luck and risking your way forward, that's your business, but you will have an opportunity to win something. Okay, let's see here. Oh, man, I saw that Blue Air said he was in Smithfield, then the message disappeared for some reason. I love Smithfield, bro. I go to Direct Tools all the time. I love Direct Tools. I can probably, the impact drivers over there, I would grab it because I bought it at Direct Tools. It's awesome. Very awesome. Here, let me shift something around here. And I need to turn that off as well. Okay, guys, anytime you can call in, I'll give it a few more minutes. If no one calls in, we'll go do a little break, and then we'll come back and play some Skilled Trade Up. And I'm trying to see. They still sell iManifold, and the parts are available. Yeah, iManifold is the best. It's the best, I think. Yes. Oh, yes. That's right. It's the droids. That's the Recon droids. Absolutely. Fantastic. Now, I haven't used all these smart probes. I used the Philippines probes. I thought they were really, really awesome. Had really great range. Really cool. I even liked the app. The app was pretty good. Oh, here we have a phone call. Let's take this phone call. Hello, you're on the air. Oh, no, I can't hear you. It's probably my fault, though. Hold on one second. It is my fault. Hello, you're on the air now, for real.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you for sure, because I hit the button and I unmuted it, so now I can hear you. What's up?
Okay. This is Jay, the one that called about the
I remember you,
Blue
Jay.
On.
Yes. Yes. Oh, Jay, since you called, that reminds me. Like tomorrow was going to be the counter day at D&L Parts, and I can't go to counter day because I'm taking my kids to get their driver's permits because Blue On is coming to the counter day. That would have been a golden opportunity.
Oh, man.
That's what you get
and
for
you
having
have
children.
no substitute?
Oh, no, there's no substitute for this, for sure, because we have my little baby son, and I have twins, so there's 2 of them going in there. So it's a zoo. It's a zoo, Jay. It's a zoo.
I mean, there's nobody, no surrogate that can go in your place.
Oh, you mean to D&L?
For the Blue On thing.
No, unfortunately, you're talking to the entire staff of HVAC Shop Talk right now. So there's no one else that, if I said, you want to go and talk to the Blue On guy for me and bring back information, he'd be like, no, I do not. And then that would be my brother, probably. He probably wouldn't even answer the phone, so I wouldn't even have the opportunity to ask him. So what's shaking in your world, Jay?
Okay. Well, I wrote down a bunch of questions. They should be quick.
All right, rapid fire. Let's do it.
Always like to mix it up. I think I could be wrong, but I think
I guess we'll find out in a second.
Yeah. Okay. The first one, I was watching one of your podcasts that from a few years ago, actually. I mean, I watched it about a week ago, but it's from maybe 3 years ago, and it had two guests on. One of them was Ted Cook, and the other one was Ralph from T and N.
Yeah. Ralph and Ted. Yep.
Okay. So my question is, I've watched a lot of their videos, and I noticed that Ralph had dropped off, at some point. And one of the comments in one of the videos that I read maybe months ago said that he left the business, and I was just wondering if you could give any kind of color on what happened, or did he just retire, or have a bad experience? Or?
No, it wasn't a bad experience. Ralph actually he left the field. He ran the company, the one you're talking about is TNN Services. He left the field and went to work at a supplier that was local in his area. He ended up getting another job at Ferguson. So now he's like a field service representative at Ferguson, and that's where he's been. And ever since he left the field, he really kind of left the social media limelight. So that's why you don't see him anymore. He's doing that job. It's a lot like A.K. Greaves. If you remember A.K. HVAC, he was real prominent on YouTube, but then he went and got a job at NAVAC. His hands are pretty much full, so he's kind of out of the social media arena. And that's pretty much all that happened to Ralph. And as Ralph would tell you, he's on to greener pastures.
Okay. What did he sell the company or shut it down, or?
Let's see. I'm trying to remember. It's been a couple of years. I don't think he sold the company. I don't know if he sold it or not, because a lot of times the one-man companies, they'll sell their bid or they'll sell their phone number or someone will absorb them. But I'm not quite sure what he did. I don't remember, actually.
Yeah, because I thought, everybody's got a different perspective. And I thought some of the ones that he did were kind of helpful.
Yeah, I agree with you. He had a good perspective, real grounded approach to things.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, next one. Here's more of a comment than a question. So last time you had the big crash and burn on the skill trade up.
Oh yeah.
Like 4 people in a row crashed and burned, and most of them were on the easy questions.
It was horrible. It was like a automotive wreck. Yeah.
Right. So I just thought it was funny. You had that one lady that worked for Brian that missed the question about does what happens? Where does heat travel? Hot to cold, or cold to hot, or upwards, or sideways, whatever. And she said cold to hot.
Yeah, she brain farted. And I know her. She just wasn't thinking about it.
Okay, and I just thought that was funny because I watched a lot of their videos, the HVAC school, and I had this is weird, and this shouldn't take very long, but basically about a month ago, I went for a walk just for exercise, and I didn't want to bring any kind of phone or anything that might break or whatever. So I have an old style MP3 player that just plays music. It's self-contained, no internet, no nothing. And I downloaded a couple of podcasts from HVAC school, and one of them was Brian basically saying that basically basics for new techs or whatever. Refresher, and he said everything goes from high to low. He says, if you drop a ball from a high distance, it fall. Gravity takes it from high to low. High pressure goes to low pressure. High voltage goes to low voltage. high temperature goes to low temperature, etc. He said, just remember that everything goes from high to low. And I'm thinking, well, of all people,
she should have got it. Yeah, yeah. I'm sure she's fired now.
Huh?
I'm sure she's fired now. I'm joking.
She said she would. She said she thought she would be. But no, I thought that was interesting. I'm trying to, dog anybody. But
I know. She 100%. She's smart on this stuff, and it's funny because when people get in the seat here, and I'm asking them a question, it's not as easy as if someone's asking you while you're walking around at the supply house or something. All of a sudden, you're on the air somewhere. Someone's asking you, and sometimes it gets, whether it be frantic or you just get unnerved a little bit, you make a silly mistake, and that's all she did.
Yeah. Okay, so here's another curveball, I guess. So can you kind of explain for a total newbie, or somebody who doesn't participate in all this stuff, what the hell is Discord? And not only what is it, but why do you need it? What does it have that all these other apps or services?
So the appeal of Discord, the reason why I'm trying it is because potentially it's really good for video and audio. So I might end up using it as far as interviews. That's really why I am over there. And I know that a lot of the guys like to chat. So it's simply just like having a live chat all the time, all day long. And the real purpose of it for me is to see if we can't get some audio and video captured from Discord and used on the show at some point. Just hasn't done it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the only purpose for me.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, that was the only purpose for me. That's why I chose it.
Yeah. Now, what I was going to say is I see this, a lot of people say, find us on Facebook, find us on Instagram, Discord. We have a Discord server. We have YouTube channel. We have this, that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, you got 12 different outlets. Why do you need the Discord? Or, what is that providing? Or
I see what you're saying.
Is it one of those distributed things like is it like decentralized?
In what way? What are you referring to, decentralized?
Like when Napster, when Napster started, the trick to Napster, or the unique thing about Napster is that nobody owned it. Like it was on everybody. There was no central server. It was everybody's computer, basically plugged into each other. And all of the files were held on various computers all over the world.
I got you. And I think I understand what you're saying. You're saying is that that's sort of decentralized file sharing like Napster was. You know what? I don't know. I don't know if Discord's like that or not. If something tells me it's not like that. I'm not positive, though. I think chiefly Discord is used by gamers who use it as a chat channel for other gamers. So they'll get on and play a game and talk to each other through Discord channels. But beyond that, I just see it as a big chat. That's all I really see it as.
Okay, so does it have chat? I guess I'll check it out. But before I do that, does it have has regular text chat like this thing does, and it also has video and audio, or
it has separate channels. You can do video chats, you can do audio chat, like voice chat, or you can just do text. Mainly 99% of the stuff that happens on Discord, as far as I'm involved with, is just text. That's all it is. It's like a live chat all day long.
And everybody has their own ID, their own handle, or whatever.
That's exactly right. Just like on YouTube here, you'll see all the different names. People make up whatever they want. It's the same exact way over there.
Okay. And before I forget, I just wanted to mention this. Last time I talked about how your name was spelled.
That's right.
So
PSI.
now I think now when I see it, I think of you as the PSI Yoda.
Oh, I like that. Well, I do like Yoda. Star Wars is awesome. I'll take that one.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
yeah, you're the PSI Yoda.
I'll come up with a visual that'll accentuate that. So I'll have something on next time. Just like I put the Saint Bernard on the with my CGI skills, the Saint Bernard on the floor grate. I'll make a Yoda picture. So that's how I'll spend like a whole day probably.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem wise.
And then I guess I feel like I was being remiss if I didn't have some kind of a, geeky technical question.
Okay.
So I'm sure you've noticed that in some of these tech videos, when they do capacitors, a lot of the guys are using those Trade Pro green capacitors.
Mm-hmm. I've seen them.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Yeah. So I was always thinking that they look kind of cool with that color, that neon color, and they look different than all the other capacitors. But you have this plastic vinyl, outside covering, and it seems like that would not be what you want for a capacitor.
I 100% agree. I know where you're going with this. Why would you put an extra layer of basically insulation on something that's sensitive to heat?
Right.
And I don't know why they did that. And I don't think they're any better than any other capacitor as far as I could tell. I've seen a couple of them blow relatively early in their life. So I don't know. I stay away from them. A lot of times I'll pick up something like Jard. Ari Michaels sold Jard. They seem to do pretty well. And nothing else really stands out. Amrad seemed pretty good, but that's about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that seems to me like the opposite of what you'd want. It's like the whole idea, as I understand it, the idea of the metal case is that it dissipates the heat, and and you don't want heat in a capacitor, so they're basically locking it in.
Yes,
it's like wearing one of those suits that the people wear to like sweat. Those plastic.
Oh yeah, those awesome looking
jackets.
suits like fighters can wear to make weight. Those sort of suits, the sweatsuits. Yeah. Yeah, it's not a good plan. I don't know. I guess I just think it looks good. Is the only explanation I have. It looks different, so people are like, oh, neat green one. I want to buy that one because it's green. It's probably good for the environment.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I guess if they can get away with it.
Well, they can get away with it for a while anyway.
Okay, and then one last thing, just because we talked about it tonight a little, or I saw it in the chat. People talking about the new refrigerants, and what does everybody do? Like, would you have to have separate gauges for each one, or separate anything, vacuum pumps, or?
With the flammable refrigerants, even mildly flammable refrigerants, you will have to have. Well, they say you have to have vacuum pumps and like recovery machines that are approved for flammable refrigerants. Like if you're going with like an R32, which is A2L mildly flammable, or 454B, which is the same way, they say technically you have to have an upgraded pump and recovery machine, which I think most of the ones coming out now are, but I've never heard anything about gauges having to be separated.
Well, what I'm talking about is not necessarily the flammables, but any, if you've got all these different options now, because you've got some R22 systems, and then you have some that are R22 retrofit with an alternative, and then of course you have the 410s, and then you may have some that are using the new ones. So do you have to like have separate instruments for everything just so they don't get mixed? Or
I personally would not. I don't think it's a big enough deal. The only cross-contamination you're worried about is oil. I don't think it's significant enough to matter, in my personal opinion. And that's something I came across because that was a big deal several years ago. It's like, all right, we got 410A now. We have to have separate gauges because there's POE oil instead of mineral oil. Never a big deal. And it was just blown out of proportion. I would not even worry about that at all, in fact.
Yeah.
And I'm
So
a
most
bastion of
people
good advice.
go from call to call. Like this stop is 410, and then next stop is R22, and the next one is Blue On, and they're like they can use the same manifold.
Yeah, I
each
sure
time.
would. I would do it every
in
single
the
time.
same-
Absolutely. I would use the same one all day, every day.
And no special like flush or rinse or anything like that. Just
I don't think it's a significant enough contamination between the different oils, and I don't even think it's that big of a deal anyway. I think because I've done systems where I've put POE oil in with mineral oil, which then became a suggestion from Honeywell that they would allow that you could add POE oil with mineral oil to allow some of their refrigerants, their aftermarket refrigerants, to work on old R22 systems. So by Honeywell saying that, it sort of affirms the fact that it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter at all, because they would never say something where you could combine that much oil, where there's a significant oil charge of POE and mineral in the same system. Honeywell would never say that unless there was an issue with that sort of contamination. And just imagine how much oil can possibly fit in your gauges anyway. Not enough to even matter.
right. Well, it's just because the EPA always says that they make you kind of paranoid about if there's any little trace of some other foreign substance, it's not what you want. You don't want any kind of that's is kind of the sentiment that you get, or at least I do.
I can understand that. I think that if you, in a perfect world, if you could separate everything out perfectly, you might have a slight advantage after X amount of years. I just don't think it's ever going to be noticeable, and the effort it would take to do that would be so much more than the benefit, which I think would be negligible. I don't think you'd be able to tell.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not the EPA,
that's good to hear.
So that's the problem. I'm not the EPA. I carry no weight. If there's a problem and you say, well,
Yeah.
Zach said so, they're going to say, oh, who's Zach?
Yeah. But if that's that's what if everybody does it with no problem, then I'm sure they would have said something by now. If they know, I mean,
Yeah.
because the reason I asked is because I can't imagine a tech walking around with like 5 different sets of gauges, 5 different sets of equipment.
It used to happen. It used to happen where
yeah,
guys would carry all different gauges. Guys would have 3 or 4 different sets of gauges, and
Right.
it was just totally unwarranted. It was just, it was an unnecessary fear. I mean, people would say, well, this could potentially cause an issue, and it turns out it didn't cause any issue at all. It just people ended up with sometimes 3 or 4 sets of digital gauges, and that's, over $1,000 a lot of times, or at least approaching $1,000. And that's just a lot of expense for no benefit. And they figured it out after a while.
Yeah. Well, I can't imagine it, and it would seem to me to be stupid, but
Yeah, I think your gut's right. I mean, if your gut's telling you like, hey, this doesn't make any sense, it probably doesn't make any sense. And no problem just getting some second opinions, but usually your gut's pretty good about stuff.
yeah. Well,
I should make a shirt that
Yeah,
says that. My gut. I go with my gut 100% of the time.
well, because you're real good with the with the references of shows and movies and things. I always like to say, what does the little man say? The little man knows all.
The little man knows all. Was that Austin Powers?
Nope.
That's a good guess.
Second guess. One more guess.
The little man
And
knows all.
You've used this show before.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to kick myself now. This is the problem here. I'm going to kick myself. All right, just tell me what it is, because I don't know what it is. I can't remember.
It's Kramer from Seinfeld.
Oh, yeah. See, if I would have thought about that for a long time, that might have happened. Because
He said, what does the little man say? The little man knows all.
Hey, Jay, and on that note, we're going to transition, man. That was fun.
Okay.
But I'm going to play some skilled trade up here in a second, but I appreciate the call, man, and you will appear on future video clips with some of that information you just talked about.
Ooh, okay.
Do
All
not
right.
be afraid. It's fine.
Okay.
All right, man.
All right.
I'll talk to you again some other time.
Take it easy. Okay.
Later, Jay.
Bye.
Bye. Jay's gone now. Jay has left the building, and that was cool. That was an interesting conversation, because some of those conversations, like, it harkens back to an older time when we were talking about 410A and R22. That conversation, I haven't had that conversation in a while, actually. But now we're coming back to, well, we're going to POE and POE. So it's a lot of POE. I don't think any of these units have PVE oil in them. And I don't think there's any alkylbenzene air conditioners that we're going to be working on in residential. Hey, look, EPA is here. You can fact check this, EPA. Appreciate it. Let's see. Oh, there's Blue Star. Blue Star. Pfft, different thing. Sorry. Blue Air. I live in Smithfield, not far from you, and have been to the outlet many times. Never direct tools. I am a tool snob. Would love to know where you got the flags behind you. We'll travel to get them. That was Turbo, man. I thought I told you that one time. Turbo Sawdust. Type it into Facebook. Turbo Sawdust. I think you can probably find him. It's a page, and he ships stuff, so you can either pick it up or he can ship it to you. That's right, Crumb. EPA in the chat, bro. That's right. EPA's here watching over you guys. You better straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and fly right. Any of you jokers going to play the skill trade up tonight? Is it even worth making a transition? Are y'all going to play? Blue Star, you have to establish a 2-question limit on calls to prevent that in the future. What are we preventing? Knowledge spreading? What are we preventing here? Forest fires, Smokey? What's the problem? You know, I will make a time limit. Okay, you're right. There needs to be a time limit. I agree with that. But I want to have something visual that I can say, oh, the time is up. Because, you know what? We need to have, everybody needs to get, hey, there's a political statement. Everybody needs to get their fair share as far as Shop Talk call-in time. So maybe, I don't know, I'm thinking 10 minutes. 10 minutes will probably be a fair time. But sometimes we get on a roll. And we're having a good time, and it's hard to do that, but 10 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, all of you give thumbs up, man. Thumbs up, bro. That'll be awesome. Hey, Grab the Flock, I said he's going to play. I'm sorry, I mispronounced that. Grab a Jabba. Jabba the Hutt. All right, so I'm going to go to, what's up, Zah? I'm going to be putting a link in the chat here in a second. If you want to play Skilled Trade Up, then holy heck, you can. You can definitely play Skilled Trade Up. EPA, you need to hit thumbs up. I was talking good about the EPA. I was like, hey, man. No, I'm just kidding. I wasn't talking good about the EPA. All government should be abolished. We should be part of warring fiefdoms. Is he serious? Is he not? We'll find out after the break. Play a little sponsor bit, get the STU intro going. And then, guys, I guess I didn't put that thumbnail in there. And then I'll be right back, and hopefully you guys are going to win some tools. All right. Company Cam is the only app every contractor needs. Document your jobs, communicate with your crews, cover your company's butt. Every photo and video taken with Company Cam is always attached to a project, geotagged, date and time stamped, and user attributed. With Company Cam, you can impress your customers by showing them real-time progress, give them a full scope of your work, and show the proof at the times when you need to. Company Cam is also compatible with many, many different integrations, including apps like Jobber and House Call Pro. You can try Company Cam for free for 14 days, so head over to companycam.com to learn more. Our sponsor, Navac, is running a promotion from May the 1st all the way till September 30th of this year. And when you purchase a qualifying vacuum pump, you get 2 free products. You choose 2 out of the following 3. The NHB1 3/8 inch to 1/4 inch evacuation hose, the NHB2, the 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch evacuation hose, or the NVR1 core remover. So there's 2 really nice free items every time you get one of the qualifying vacuum pumps. You can find out more at Navac Global, and you can purchase these things at TrueTechTools.com, but use our Shop Talk discount code if you purchase from TrueTech to save 8%. Workwithyourhands.com is a web page that hooks up people looking for jobs with great trade jobs. On the screen right now, I just have a few of the positions available in Durham, North Carolina. Service technicians, HVAC installers, there's some plumbing stuff, electrical stuff. Pretty much all the different skilled trades. Jobs are open all across the nation, and there's no reason not to take a look if you're looking to make a move. It's workwithyourhands.com, and you can find links in the description of this video to your next job. This program is brought to you by Yellow Jacket, and this is the Yellow Jacket Wireless Refrigerant Charging Scale, part number 68864. Has a 220-pound capacity, a large platform. It's easy to carry, has a handle built in. I've been using this one for a while. Bluetooth connection. There's no screens on it. You just turn it on. It links up to your phone, and you can watch it from the YJack View app. A really nice and very durable scale. This is the 68864 wireless refrigerant charging scale from Yellow Jacket. All right, well, we're back. We're going to play some STU here. I just put the link in the chat. In just a moment, I'm going to turn the chat off so that they can't help right now. There was a request by my buddy Weaver over here. Man, Weaver actually sent me an email I was going to talk about, and I forgot about putting it up. We do it on Thursday. So, can Brian Orr be a lifeline? I thought about adding the lifelines back. So the lifelines before, like back in the day, were the 50-50. You could take away two of the wrong answers. Another one was, what was it? The 50-50, the Ask the Chat. It seemed like there was a third one. I don't remember what that was. But we probably won't add back a third one. See, if we add back lifelines, we're going to have to make like an extra question or something like that, or make them a little bit harder or something. I don't know. We're going to have to compensate a little bit just to kind of, whatever. I don't know. So, something like that. I don't know. So, you guys over there in the chat, I'm going to be shutting off the chat as soon as we get somebody in here. If anyone wants to play, just click that link right there and you'll plop right in here like a bomb. Plop like a bomb. Yep, Weaver, you sent me an email and it was interesting, and now I can't remember what it's about. That's the darndest thing. I don't know. We can start talking about, oh, there's somebody. Oh, look, I see somebody in there plopping in there now. Looks like that's going to be our player for today. All right, Mr. Gravity Fly.
I'm in.
You made it? You're here? How's it going?
Let other people go. Sergio.
Oh, did you win? You did win, didn't you, Sergio?
Hey, how's it going?
You're a former winner. You did win the other day. Hey, but no one else showed up. So
I sure did. I'm hearing you in the background. I'm sorry.
Oh man. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you got the YouTube playing. Find a safe space.
Yeah, let me figure that out. Good.
If you're not safe
Okay.
there,
Let's
I
wait
can
for the
call
kids.
somebody. We're going to find Sergio a safe space right now. And yes, Sergio did win, but no one else showed up. So, I mean, Sergio gets to play then. And I didn't remember. Man. Yeah, when the chat disappears, you fall into a dark part of the internet, and you're about to disappear right now. So I'm very sorry about that. But we'll always be friends. I can only say that. Let me bring this up here. I'm going to go to the chat, turn it off. There we are. We'll turn it back on once we're done here. Okay. Let's see. Sergio? Oh, man. Look, he's all frozen. I look back up and he's all frozen and stuff. Sergio, are you there? Sergio, you lost the internet. If someone else shows up, Sergio, I'm about to play them instead. So I don't think anyone can see the chat anymore because I just got rid of it. Look at that catch-22. We'll give him a second here. Let's see if he plops up or not. In the meantime, guys, we can just talk about our feelings and stuff. We ain't doing that. That's okay. No feelings here. Just hardness and evil. Oh, yep. See, he's gone now. All right, we'll give Sergio a second to click back in. Usually that's what happens. We have this error because this is live television, man. That's what happens. You guys can take a look at this while we're waiting. Look at this fine device I bought. This is Heart. This was in the clearance aisle at Walmart. That's the kind of person I am. They have one of their little inverters right here. And it has a 120 volt plug. And it has two USBs right there. It says 2.4 amps, 5 volts DC or District of Columbia. Push the button on top. Let's see, turns on. I like this because the Ryobi one that I was using that just has USBs doesn't have a light on it. So you never know it's on unless you have something plugged in you're charging. And you got to look and see if it's still charging. It's kind of a pain in the butt. This one has a light too, but I mean, lights on these things are stupid. All right, so he disappeared. I'm going to bring back the chat for a second so we can put the link back in the chat. So just in case, I think it'll just pop right back up, guys. So if you're listening, you can just hit that link and come on here. I think Sergio's wife yelled at him. It's like, why are you playing? You know you're not supposed to play. Okay? Okay, let's see if the internet's gone down or something like that. See my screen's rotating over there. Yep. Restore chat. Let's see it. All right, so you should be able to see the link now down there, so you can hit that. I just want to give away tools, guys. Will someone come take these tools from me? I want to give them to you. I'm just going to ask you stupid questions. Oh, look, there's somebody. I see something appearing. Yep, there's somebody. So, hey, that's somebody's going to play. And welcome, Sam. How's it going? Sam, are you there?
Good.
Oh, I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
There's a little bit of a delay, but we can work with it. Okay. Sam, do you have you seen the game played before?
Yes, I have.
So you're familiar with the rules. I'm going to ask you a question. You're going to win a tool, and you could trade it up and win an even greater tool.
Right.
Okay. Well, I'm going to shut off the chat, so we're going to play here. Sorry, guys. You were there for a second, and you're gone again now. So I'm going to shut that off. Live chat. See you in a bit. And we'll be right back to you guys after Sam brings down the victory or the alternative. So we're going to see what happens. Sam, the first question is going to be a gimme question. This is going to be just a really nice question to get us started. And as soon as you say, I'm ready, we're going to get down to business.
I'm ready.
All right. Since you're ready, here is your first gimme question. And only gimme question, really. So here we go. What show are you on? A, HVAC School. B, HVAC Overtime. C, HVAC Shop Talk. Or D, HVAC Uncensored.
C, final answer.
C is your final answer. You didn't even think about it hardly. But you know what? That's because you're right. That's the right answer right there. So you nailed it. You got it. You won the grand prize. No, not quite there yet. But you did win this nice Appion cup. So it's really nice. I'll give you a closer look at it right there. It's a fine cup. Do you want to keep this cup and use it for your beverages or whatever you put in there? I'm not judging. So, or I will give you the opportunity to win these two items, the brazing mirror and the flashlight here. Let me see. There we have the flashlight. LED compact flashlight, and brazing mirror. Would you like to win these two or keep your cup?
Actually, I like the cup, but I'd like to keep playing.
Oh, well, since you like to keep playing, here's what I'll do. I'll give you all three if you get this next one right. How's that?
Ooh. Okay.
So how can you say no now? I'll let you know you can't say no. It's time to play another round. So we're going to trade up. Here's the sound. We're trading up. And here's your second question, which I classify as easy. Here we are. Which company makes or made the Focus Pro 3000? A. Honeywell, B. Nest, C. Ecobee, or D. Emerson? What could it be? He's thinking. I see you thinking down there.
I'm going to have to get the only thing I recognize is the 3000.
So what do you think it is?
And that was Honeywell.
So you think it's Honeywell?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, is that your final answer?
It's going to have to be. I don't think it's right, but I don't think it's without.
So your final answer is A. Honeywell, correct?
That is my final.
Well, that is absolutely the right answer. That's correct. Honeywell had the Focus Pro line of thermostats, including the 3000, 4000, 5000, and on down the road to every single other thermostat that had Focus Pro on it. And they were awesome. Well, I mean, that was pretty good right there. You won all those tools. That was really nice. So here's what I'll do now. If you want to trade up again, I will let you trade up for, let's see, trade up for this awesome Klein multi-nut driver, which is actually like, I don't know, like 500 different sizes or something, just from looking at this thing here. It's 7, but I said that 500. And there's the Appian cup too, because I know how you're attached to the Appian cup, and there's no way you're going to go on without it. So these two items. What do you say?
You know what? I'm gonna go for it because I'm gonna think that the medium question is easier than the hard easy question.
So you broke up. Are you going to go for it? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Oh,
Let's go for it.
all right. So we're going to trade up, which is always great to hear. This is going to be a medium question here. You could win the sweet Klein multi-nut driver and this wonderful cup if you get this question right. This medium question here. And here we go. Do you like refrigerants? After I read this question, there's going to be a 15-second timer on the medium and hard questions. Which refrigerant is mildly flammable, or an A2L is what I'm talking about? A, ammonia, B, R454B, C, R458A, or D, R290? You have 15 seconds. Think it over.
I'm gonna go with B. Final answer.
So B, you said B is in Bobby?
Correct.
Okay, so B is in Bobby is your final answer. Now, as we all know here, R290 is flammable. But R290 is A3. It's very, very flammable. And ammonia has some flammability problems, but it's not an A2L. It's a B refrigerant because it's toxic. So you're actually right on the money. Absolutely right. It is R454B, the new refrigerant for Carrier and all that stuff. So, man, oh my gosh, look at you. All the way to the hard question. I mean, I'll give you all that stuff that we just talked about. You can keep all the stuff, the multi-nut driver, the cup. I'll even give you one of the finest instruments ever been made, this hammer drill kit with a battery and charger, plus the multi-nut driver, plus the cup. Finest tools ever.
Can you show that?
18 volt right here. It's got it's awesome. It's awesome. Just trust me. The charger could be better. They could use better chargers. But besides that, everything else will be fine. You could drill holes in all sorts of bricks or whatever. So is that enough to entice you to play one more round?
So you're saying, okay, yeah, I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead.
What a wise man. A wise man. Okay. That's actually a good idea because the next questions are a real pain in the butt. So it would have been tough. I'll just need your information so you can send that to my email, hvacshoptalk@gmail.com, or you can text the call-in number. Either way, you can send it over and I will package it up and I will send it to you.
Okay, so that email is what?
The email is hvacshoptalk@gmail.com. It's in the description of the video too. All this information is down there so you can find it there if you forget.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Well, congratulations, Sam, and thank you for playing.
All right. Thanks.
Take care. I'm going to bid you farewell, just like Ralph used to say, farewell and adieu. And there goes Sam, and he's gone, and he just won some cool stuff. I'll bring the chat up. We'll talk for a couple more minutes, and we'll wrap this thing up. Well, that was fun. We had a winner. Always fun when there's a winner, guys. Always fun when there's a winner. We'll get some sweet tools in here. As time goes by and I become a rich a magnet of HVAC, I will continue to buy nicer and nicer tools. Right now, being not a magnet, I get what I can get. So you guys get drill bits, you get cups, and you get flashlights. But one day I'm hoping you can get gauges and stuff like that. So that's what we're working towards. And that's one of the reasons why we do the... oh yeah, oh, man, Mr. Grabbit-a-Caucus, yeah, you did get cut off. You disappeared, and it was just a little bit too long. We waited for a minute, but then you were gone. But come back again next time. It was good news for Sam. He won, but come back next time. We'll do it again on Thursday, so you won't have to even wait that long. We're going to do it every single show as long as I have tools. This is the legit truth right here, guys. I tend to be a straight shooter, if you haven't noticed. As long as I have money to buy you tools, we will continue to play this game. And when that runs out and there's no more tools, we will take a break until I have more money to buy tools with. And that's how that's going to work. The parts you can do is you can be a channel member if you want to support that. You can be a subscribe star guy, but it's going to keep on going no matter if you do it or not. You can always leave a thumbs up on the video. That's free. You can leave comments on all the videos. That's free too. And podcast reviews really help. All these shows become podcasts, so you can revisit them. I put all these clips up on YouTube of the highlights of every show. So in the days after the show, you'll be able to see some of the key points if you missed it. And I just hope that that works for you guys. I think it's been something that a lot of people have enjoyed. I've noticed that people are really liking watching individual clips because you can catch key moments in the show that you might care more about than watching other moments in the show. Because sometimes, you don't want to hear about a certain subject, but other things are really interesting. So I think it's a good way of doing it. And I make everything into playlists on YouTube, so you can go back and say, I want to watch stuff about HVAC tools. You can find the playlist section. You can watch all the tool stuff. Or I make one called Lifestyle, which is just some of the stuff that we go through being in the HVAC field. And I'm trying to make as many playlists as possible without it being too obscenely long. But I want to give everybody options to watch what they want to watch. And that's what I'm going to try to do. So my name is Zach Ciota. This is HVAC Shop Talk. You guys have been great as usual. I really appreciate it. And Joe Shear says, Zach, you can film a run capacitor change for us soon. Nah, I think I'm all done with that. I really do. I don't think there'll be any more run capacitor changes on this show. There'll be plenty of them coming though, just not from this show. Blue, I'm glad you enjoyed the show. And oh yeah, man, we're gonna get some good prizes again. It's just one of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to be able to do it. I wanted the show to sustain it and purchase the prizes. Because I don't want to be, we have show sponsors, and that makes this stuff possible, and I'm grateful for it. But the more you get beholden to companies, the more you get entangled with whatever brand they are, whatever agenda they are, and I tend to try to stay out of that crap as much as possible. The way I see sponsorship is that they do pay to help support the show, and I give them advertising space, but they do not rent my opinion. And it doesn't change my opinion on what I think is good or bad. And I will tell you on the show what it is. And it doesn't always work out perfectly for me, but I sleep like a baby. And that's what the good thing is. And I think having integrity is something our good Lord appreciates. And he's always kept me with food in my mouth and a roof over my head, so I ain't worried about it. So that's why I say if you guys want to help, hey, that's fine. You can become channel members, and that's a real helpful thing. But if you just want to sit back and give a thumbs up every now and then, that's fine too. It's all good in the neighborhood, guys. I have a good time talking to you guys. Really love it when you call in. Anybody that's hesitant about calling into the show, please don't be. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, there's a pretty good chance you're smarter than I am. The only advantage I have is that I'm used to doing the shows, and you're not. So when you call in and realize that I'm dumber than you, you're going to start feeling like, hey, I should have called in years ago. I can school this guy, and then you can school me, and then other people learn from you, and that's what it's all about. So, guys, how to use a nut driver, a coil cleaning. We need to do more coil cleaning videos. We need to do more how to put in a screw into a panel. We need to, show a bunch of Goodman units. What I was going to do, okay, here's my last idea before the show closes. Goodman condensers are famous for having the screws routed out on them. If you twist them too hard, then the screw just kind of falls out forever, and you got to keep getting a bigger screw or wrap wire around it or whatever, fix it you have come up with in your life. I was thinking about seeing how the screws would work if I used my half-inch 600 foot-pound Ryobi impact wrench I just bought. I put the 9 amp hour battery on it, the high-performance battery, and see if the whole unit just spins around with the screw. I think it might do it. But at the very least, we're going to trash that screw hole in record time. If you can do it with a 5/16 nut driver in your hand, you better believe it's going to happen with the impact wrench. Carrier too. A lot of them are bad for that. I remember this York unit one time. I was working. I guess this will be the final story for tonight. This is the final story. Okay, I was up on this roof. There was a period in time which I embarked into the world of commercial HVAC for a little while, and I was doing several of the local McDonald's restaurants, which was a stinky mess. I never disliked food so much as smelling it come out of an exhaust hood and not believing that you could ever eat there again because it was just disgusting. But I remember in particular, there was a mall in South Wilmington, North Carolina, called Longleaf Mall. And there was a McDonald's there, which has since been knocked down because they will knock them down and remodel them every so often to update them. But before this one was knocked down, I was up on the roof. It was just one of them things like hadn't been serviced in a while. Like there was like 3 units with belts that weren't even attached any longer. They were just frozen up. There was a whole bunch of units with just burned up electrical contactors where one stage wasn't running on the unit. And I came up to this one unit and like every single panel was just being held on by just tension with the screw. Like not because the screw was holding it in, just because it was turned, it couldn't pull out because the lip of a screw was kind of holding it against the remaining hole. Every single one of them. It was about to fall apart. I had to get new screws and tap them in with like everybody does. Put like a new self-tapper in there to hold it in, like a 1/4 inch with your impact. Just till next time, and then those get all screwed up. You have to do it again. So that was York. And whenever you touch the fins, because we were, a couple miles from the ocean, these had been around for over 10 years. And if you would just swipe your hand across them, which I didn't do, so I don't know how I know this, they would just fall off. They would all just fall off. Worst one I ever seen was one with just the copper. There were no fins on it. It was just copper tubes and a condenser, and there was no fins left. That was awesome. I think I took a picture of that one. I don't know where it's at. I took a picture of it somewhere. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for joining me for another show tonight. I'll be back on Thursday night at 9 p.m.-ish, just in case it's 9:07. I had to go to the bathroom, okay? All right? I had to go to the bathroom tonight. But I will be back on Thursday, then back again on Sunday night, same time, 9 p.m. So we're doing Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, as long as it works. I'll try to keep you guys in the loop if anything changes or I'll have to miss one or anything like that. Everything looks good for the next few days. Kids are out of school. My son's graduating on Thursday, but it's Thursday morning at 9 a.m., so that shouldn't be a factor. I go to church on Sunday, but it's earlier than the show anyway, so that's not a factor either. So everything's good. I'm going to get out of here. Enough rambling from me tonight. Thank you again, guys, and I will see you on the next one.